We have an extremely long agenda tonight. Go ahead and do the public comments on the front end if anyone has anything they'd like to say. Otherwise, we're going to dive into it. All right. This is the first time we've had line item transfers on our agendas, and there's 49 of them. There's no law that says they can't be all passed at one time. We certainly want to discuss any that commissioners have questions about. Does anyone have any questions about specific line item transfers? Otherwise, I'd like to have a motion to pass agenda items 3 through 52.
That's on the packet 2.
I'm sorry?
Well, she had three packets. I guess it was so long. Okay. She sent us in the email 3 packets because it was so long, the agenda. So I just had to go to a different page.
Okay. So it's 3 through 52. Can I get a motion to approve those?
And I know EMS had a question on a couple of them. There were some errors in the ones that they were wrote on the agenda, if you will.
We've got one error on line, agenda item 30. We're transferring funds from the same line item back to the same line item. So that probably will not work. So what I'd suggest that we do is scratch agenda item number 30.
Commissioner Edwards. That's Commissioner Edwards.
Okay, do you have the correct line item numbers?
You have the correct numbers?
That was supposed to go to 506. That was, Road and Bridge.
Which number?
On number 9 is the same as number 11.
They're not numbered.
Number 30.
Well, item here, agenda item number 9 is the same as number 11.
Yeah, they're not numbered on the
Okay. And then on item number 19, agenda item 19.
Ms. Morales, I'm unable to understand you. I know you have a mask on, but maybe if you walked up to the microphone, we'd be able to hear you.
Okay, line item number.
Get closer.
Agenda item number 9 is the same as number 11. So we just need one of those. Agenda item 19 is going from 12-15665, and it should be going to line item 12-15657 for the total of $506.99.
What line item was that?
Number 19.
Agenda item 19. What was the line item?
And the line item is 12-15665 is going to 12-15657 for the amount of $506.99.
Okay.
Okay, then number 21, transferring from 12-15665, that should be 12-15671.
Second number?
Second number should be 67.
Second number, yes, 671.
All right.
And then it should be for the correct amount, that 2,093.
Okay.
Okay, and that's all I have.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I'll make a motion to accept these line item transfers
Changes?
and the budget transfers that are in here, because there's 2 different ones. And with the changes or as presented to the auditor's office, I know that the copies she's got are correct.
Can I get a second on that, please?
You including mine in there too?
Yeah.
Yes, because I've got the right copy here.
Yeah.
Made out. Yeah, I'll second that.
All in favor?
But wait a minute, I can't hear shit down here, so. On precinct 3, what caught my eye was a lot of money. He was transferring it to 707, and he doesn't have a 707 line. What
Can you supply the line item so we'll know, or the agenda item?
I just got the pages on my email. It doesn't give me the pages are not numbered. It was 100,000 and something.
I think, Judge, I think you're talking about, agenda item 46. Agenda item 46, yeah.
Action on line item transfer 24-173-506, 24-174-657 for $300.
The one before that.
So it's 100 and something thousand dollars.
Action on line item transfer from 24-173-506 to 24-173-707 in the amount of $135,000.
Got 707 there. He didn't have a line. What is 707? He didn't have a line.
Do not know. Have you heard from Commissioner White, Andy?
Did you all get copies of all these? I don't have any.
I've got them on his email, but it doesn't tell you which one's what. But,
I sure he has.
equipment, and it was signed by the.
707? What is 707?
This is as of 9/8, but he's only,
I can just take it off because he's not here to answer for himself, and I certainly don't know what was on it.
There's a 707 in his deal. Budget versus actual.
but
Commission.
he's not that far in the hole by that.
But he has a 707 line.
He has a 707. I looked back and he didn't.
9/8,
What is the,
this is,
Account number is 24-173-707.
what is it on there? What is the,
what's the amount?
no, the line itself, what's it called?
She said it's equipment. She said it was equipment.
I don't have the actual.
Furniture and equipment, Rusty.
That was part of his share of that, Dubai Roller, kind of earlier this year. That everyone participated in.
Yeah, he bought a roller and I put in,
You buy a roller that everybody participated in buying?
Yes,
14, I put in 14.
Okay, and then there was some,
okay.
he bought a trailer and a tank
Okay.
earlier this year that was covered with road materials that didn't go in road materials. So that's to cover those expenses.
Okay. I looked back in the old budget and that doesn't see a 707, is what I'm saying.
But like I said, it was in road materials.
Okay. Yeah, it was in his road material. Yeah.
All right, let's start over after all this conversation. Mr. Morales, would you?
We had a motion and a second to approve it with the changes,
Right.
and it as presented to the officers.
Seconded it? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 52, action on line item transfer 12-131-401, 12-131-608, the amount of $2,250. Mr. Fredericks?
Don't have that. I don't have it. What about this, I'm sorry.
Judge, that was agenda item 53. I think you read 50. You read it right, but you gave the wrong number.
52.
Not actually, the one we're doing is 53, right? Yes.
53, excuse me. We stopped on 52. Do you know what that is?
I sent you the, support on that. Those are all the ACH payments that have been made since January 2019. When I got the agenda request, I attached it. You can take it off, we'll put it on next one.
What is it about?
It's just a list of every ACH payment that has been made from January 19th through today. Payments for, like Social Security,
Mhm.
retirement, federal income tax.
And it's a line item transfer? That's what y'all?
No, this is not a budget amendment. This is a list of ACH payments that have been made since January 19th through today. For the sake of transparency,
Mhm.
I wanted y'all to see it and approve it. No burden on our check. These are payments that were made, majority of them by far related to paper.
That's all that,
Take it off and everything.
I have that copy in my stuff. I don't know if the other commissioners do, but I have it. But, yeah,
That's just a list of.
Yeah. I know.
So what's your pleasure? Do you want to okay that, or do you want him to bring it back another time? This wasn't requested, it's just an attempt to be totally transparent, all the ACH withdrawals.
This is so screwed up, I can't find nothing, so.
You got it in yours, Commissioner?
What?
You got the list in yours?
Yes.
Part one.
Yeah, he has.
What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
I'll make a motion to approve it. I mean, I have it in here. I looked it
Can I
over.
get a second? You've got the payments in front of you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion action on getting a forensic audit done. Mr. Bruns?
Well, I had talked to Rusty and you, I believe, about, if we could, look into, but, Rusty said he was in our meeting, or not meeting, but when we talked about it, was gonna get with a, auditing company, I believe, and see what some expenses, is that kind of what we talked about?
My idea of a forensic audit is to look at certain transactions that have been made over a period of time. We're gonna have a full audit done this year, 2019 and 20. Before we'll have an audit done in a year. These are certain transactions that he probably does. That we schedule once and for all.
Right. And this would probably start, you said maybe, because we did 15 and 16, we had a full audit, so starting around 17.
So we have a audit that's scheduled to take place right after October the 30th for the year that we're in now. Would be my suggestion.
We can start giving information probably the third quarter.
Because I believe we've all agreed that we should do something like this, right? And look at some expenses of it.
The annual audit, that's gonna be done.
Right.
There are certain transactions that have occurred. Like I said, I can think of 3 that we need, in my opinion, we need to have this audit done. To put this in once and for all.
Okay. So this, you are working on it, I mean, that's what you, okay. Yeah, I just kind of wanted everybody, to know that we had talked about
If
this.
there's any particular transaction, we don't do that.
Right, and that was the other thing, to let the other, commissioners know if they had something they wanted looked at, to make a list and give that, I guess, to Rusty or or whoever's doing all this. Who would we use our same auditor that we're using, a different firm? Okay.
You have a firm in mind, Rusty?
I doubt if you're gonna find one that's good.
I don't know.
Superior uses a different auditing firm for their regular audits. Would that? Yes,
Yeah, when I was through those, someone told me,
right,
and every so often, we should change.
right. I've always heard that too. I just wanted everybody to know and maybe start thinking of some things that they would maybe want, looked into. That's the reason I wanted to get this on here.
Do you have a list?
To be honest with you, about a year ago, I thought of some stuff, and then I'd have to go back and look at my notes. And,
So we'll take no action
yes, sir.
on 54. 55. Approve purchase of Mini 14 issued 1999 to Michael De La Garza per Government Code Chapter 614. Michael served the county faithfully for 20 years. He was issued a Mini 14 223 Ruger, and he would like to buy it at whatever the fair market value is. That's a fairly common thing.
Mhm.
So if I can get a motion to approve that, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. No, I'm for it. I'm sorry.
Motion carries. Approve a resolution in order approving the request of Dulceta Solar LLC to use all county roads and right-of-ways in Goliad County. They were waiting until the school district approved. That's happened now. They just need permission to ride on county roads. I don't know what county roads they'd be riding on because the road that the solar
Yeah, it's a
facility is on.
state road. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was reading through their deal there. They, in the agreement here, they agree to fix any damages and or, what I read in the deal here.
So if we could approve that, we can get that project on the road.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second, please?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve Goliad County 2021 holiday schedule. You all have a list of it? There's still a floating holiday in there. Can I get a motion to approve that, please?
There's two different ones.
It was just printed twice, I believe. What I could tell.
Do we usually give 13 or
Yes, we get 13.
13?
Yes.
Okay, so the 25th is a Saturday of December. So that leaves 12 on both of the calendars that were made up, if I'm not mistaken.
The 25th for next year is a Saturday?
What?
I said the 25th is a Saturday for next year?
25th, I looked at my calendar, it was Saturday.
Well, that simply means that it'll be taken on the Monday holiday or the Friday following.
Well, okay, yeah, but I guess that's what we gotta decide, right? I mean,
How do you want it?
oh, say it again?
Christmas,
Yeah, Christmas Day,
Friday. This year, it's not Friday,
This is for 20,
Thursday.
2021.
for,
This is for 20? This is,
Okay, David,
this is 21.
this year will be Christmas at 20.
Yeah, this is the calendar for 21.
It's for the 21 fiscal year,
Yes.
but Christmas is still in 20.
no.
No, this calendar is for 21 total, starting with January.
No, because next year.
This doesn't go by the,
No, it doesn't go by our calendar year, it goes by.
so Christmas is on a Saturday, so do you want it on Monday or Friday?
Okay. Say it again. Yes, 25th. On both of them, they list the 25th. And that's what gives both of them the 13 days. So if we take the 25th off of both calendars, we can, we can put a date maybe by July 5th. This one calendar has a July 5th, holiday that she made up, and that's on a Monday in July.
All we gotta do is change the dates on the 21 calendar. Is that what I'm hearing?
You will up on the 21 calendar for this time next year. That is right. This is just from 2020 to 20.
No, this is total 21, January to December.
So what's your pleasure?
Well, I was at 13th day instead of the 25th of December. I would suggest move it to July 5th, and then that would make that a 3-day holiday because the 4th is on a Sunday. So that's, on one of her calendars that she made up, she used the 5th of July, and then the other calendar, she added the 23rd of December. So I would say go with the number 2. Well, that's still, well, we could give them the 5th of July and the 23rd.
I'm not at all satisfied with the way these things are written up. I think it's a poor job. I'd like to take no action on this and revisit it the next
Okay,
time.
and that's fine with me. That's fine.
All right.
So we'll table that one.
No, well, we can bring it up next time. That's fine.
Right, okay.
You know what I forgot to do, guys? I've got other things on my mind tonight. I apologize. We never voted to approve the consent agenda. And I'd like to get a motion to do that, please.
We got some takeouts.
I'll do the take.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
So if I get a motion to approve the consent agenda, then we'll do the takeouts immediately after that.
I motion to accept the rest of the consent agenda.
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we do have some pullouts on page 8. Commissioner White, $124.75. Motion to approve, please.
We'll move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Page 12, Commissioner Morales, $424.35. Motion to approve, please.
We'll move.
Second. Second.
Yeah.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
One abstention.
Opposed? Motion carries. Goliad Auto Parts, $672.97.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thing.
Motion carries. Goliad Auto Service, $680.23. That's on page 16.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thing.
Motion carries. Page 19, Commissioner Edwards, $507.73. Motion to approve, please.
We'll move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Commissioner Bruins, $1,468.43. Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Number 58, set the regular day of the week for the 2021 regular Goliad County Commissioners Court. Is Monday still good?
Mondays are still good.
Monday's still good.
Mondays are still good for me.
Need a second, please?
Well, yeah, can we set a time also?
When this emergency's over, you can.
Because, well, that's what I'm getting at, because we go to these conferences and we usually have to leave soon after the meeting on Monday mornings to get to them. So,
Well, this is to set the day of the week, day of the week. It's not- There's no agenda item for setting the time. If we could agree on Monday and
So-
approve that, then we can move forward.
And you're saying we'll go back to the regular time when all this is over with?
As soon as this disaster declaration is over, we can do whatever we decide.
Excellent, okay.
Need a motion to approve Monday as the regular date we meet.
Second.
As a clarification, can we state second and fourth Monday, or three Monday?
Oh, the second and fourth Monday, yes.
Second and fourth Monday.
Yes.
Need a motion on that, please?
So move,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion action to approve county attorney's pretrial 2020-2021 budget. Mr. Bruns?
Mr. Bonmonte.
Pursuant to, Code of Criminal Procedure 102, the county attorney can collect a fee from defendants regarding the pretrial diversion program and use that money on the pretrial program. My secretary, we've done this last year.
Right.
My secretary does 99% of the work on all of that. And so we are asking that approximately $4,300 come out of that fund that's specific for that. The only change from this year and last year is we've added a line for $50 for miscellaneous supplies.
And that's all fine money, it's no tax money. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's actually a fee, it's not a fine. It's a pretrial diversion fee they pay, no tax dollars are spent. Last time I looked, I think we had about $9,000 in that fund. Each year keeps growing. So we're asking that you approve this pretrial, county attorney pretrial, but.
I've got a question. Do you have a list of the case numbers that money was derived from?
I think, wow. The money goes in, your office code.
Okay, but you're the one that has the case numbers, I don't have that.
Oh, I'll be glad.
Need a motion to approve this, please?
I make a motion to approve the county attorney's pretrial budget, 2021.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Review expenses incurred by the county related to Goliad County Memorial. Fredericks?
So I just saw that on the agenda. So I asked Rita to put together a quick recap of the expenses that we incurred today. And this is not driven by the insurance. It's going to tax and calculate those annual community reports. On the reports that they sent out in those years, they didn't break it out. But as of today, the county has spent a little over $200,000 on the auditorium. If you split that in two, the city share is $105,000.
Okay, one question, so, okay, on 2016 and 17 and 18, before the account was closed that we had at the American Bank,
None,
none of these expenses came out of
No.
that, the revenue that brought in?
no.
Okay. Right, yeah, this has 16, so, right.
The city has never paid a dime for insurance.
But the income, there again, that's what I'm asking, that money that went into that account from rental and everything, did you take that in consideration on some of this.
When the judge came into office and closed the account over here,
That's correct.
I think there was less than $10,000 in that account. Around $3,000. So half of that money, say $1,500 would be theirs at the end of the day. And any revenue, rental revenue from January through whenever they took it over this year would also need to be split 50-50. But that, I can assure you, is probably no more than $10,000 at the most.
Yeah, and I know that, but those years that they had the account,
No insurance.
I have all the
no insurance,
I have
you
all
don't,
the bank statements, there never was anything paid out.
oh, but I know she paid bills, the electric bill out of that account.
Okay,
And
that was all, that
utilities.
was all prior to January of 19.
Right, yes, that's what I mean.
We're looking at January of 19 forward here.
So you got 15 to 16
Yeah,
here.
that's all insurance. Insurance, listen to me.
I'm listening.
Insurance was never paid by the city. Never. Now, the question I have is, what should we do with this current year's insurance? Should we cancel it?
Well, no, it's still a county city building. It's always been a county
They took
city
it over.
building.
They took it over. It's their
No,
responsibility.
they didn't take it over. A committee took it
Okay,
over,
the
not
committee needs to
they.
get the insurance.
Right, we budgeted for the insurance, and, well, we tried to, but we got shorted about 10,000. They were gonna put in 25,000, the city, and we were gonna try to put in 25,000.
Why would you give them any money when they owe you over $100,000?
Well-
Here's the crux of it. We are continuing, it's like, would you continue to advance someone money that had never paid you back on any previous deals? That's the simplest way I know to say it. Insurance came due in July or August, is that correct? And we've already re-upped it. So we've already stepped in again and put some more money into the pot. And now he's asking, what do we need to do? Do we continue to pay insurance and continue not to receive any payment on these insurance premiums by the city? In your private life, you wouldn't think that was a very good idea. And it really shouldn't be different with the county. So there's going to have to come a point where we reconcile with the city. And they have to ante up or they can't get any cards. And that's just the way it works. There's 31 acres out there. And it's all jointly owned by the city and the county. And I don't know who owns the Julie Wimberly building. And the rest of that is, I'm not sure anyone else does. But the county is buying insurance for it, and the city is not participating. So this is an attempt to bring awareness that the city is not holding up their end of the stick. And I don't know,
Have you talked to them about,
Lee has sent them invoices.
okay, because I think they told me they were asking for some stuff.
I can give you invoices for all expenses for January 2019, April of this year. Never even acknowledged that I sent it to them, no thank you, no nothing from the city. And then we sent them the last 2 years worth of insurance policy. And not even so much of it. They wanted to acknowledge.
They've asked for supporting documentation for the rental.
Say that again?
They've asked for supporting documentation for the auditorium rental from January 19 forward.
And bills, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
On a monthly basis.
Okay, well, I don't work at the city. I'm just with this committee and
We have no.
We are not being reimbursed.
no, and I understand that. And there
So
again,
his question is, do we continue to buy insurance knowing that they're not gonna pay their half.
Okay, so we had a little budget meeting, this committee, and that's what we set up, a budget. And we took the insurance expense, the utilities, electricity, and all that, and that we came up with a budget for the auditorium.
Okay, but what about the prior expenses? You got a budget for that?
Well, that's that's the city, and there again, that's where y'all gotta get with the city and work this out.
But what Lee told you is, she has repeatedly sent invoices and emails to the city, and we're getting crickets back.
Well, I had talked to Sherry, and she said, I guess she was gonna get with you, and then, well, I wish we would sit down with them,
I actually
and
went over to the city
you have,
last year and met with the mayor and gave her copies of the 2019 census, and she requested at that time that I send it, which I have done, and she never acknowledged that.
it's best
Sat
to,
down with her, and she thought appeared that she was going to be cooperative, but then she just said,
I would talk to Sherry. That's their money person, that's their treasurer or whatever, and
I think,
she's a lot easier to work with.
I think that when you
She knows-
send people
she
a
knows
bill,
the
they
dollar.
owe you a response.
Say it again?
I think when you send someone a bill, they owe you a response. The city needs to respond to the invoices and the emailing queries that we have sent to them, rather than telling us that we need to go talk to them. I mean,
What, we had a meeting last week, and they never mentioned any.
okay,
So we,
I've been telling you, the prior court meetings, that this amount is getting large.
okay, so,
And you have it. So my
I
question
read
is,
for you information back in July, and all that, and then information we're supposed to take. So we're not getting any.
so the question at hand is, that he asked, do we want to cancel the auditorium fairgrounds insurance?
and then there again, I don't think so, because we are, there again, we set up a budget, and then we budgeted money here in the county, and I would think the city budgeted money to go into this auditorium account that we set up. We set up an account, and yes, we will reimburse starting at least at 2020 or 21, whenever the first insurance bill. But we have to, I'll get with them personally tomorrow and see. It just seems like we're going back and forth on this, and they give me one answer and then I hear another answer here, so that's what I'm getting at.
David,
I believe you, I don't
you're on
believe
the
you.
commissioner's court.
Do what?
You're on the commissioner's court. You approve all these bills.
Right. Bills for the,
bills.
yes.
So don't sit there and act like you don't know that we've been paying bills on behalf of the auditorium.
There again, it had an account up to 2019. Well, we found out it wasn't, we opened up another account.
Okay, here's what I would like to do.
So you have another account, county participant.
And the
Not
city.
supposed to be any accounts for the county that have our tax ID number.
I don't think it has your tax ID number on it. I don't,
Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to table it, not take no action, table it, so it'll come up at the next meeting. And that gives y'all 2 weeks to get with them, and they can decide what it is they're gonna do, because it doesn't make any sense to continue throwing money at the auditorium when they're not paying their share. It just doesn't.
and this, yes, I will get with Sherry and she,
All right, let's move on.
I would only talk to Sherry about this, to be honest.
We're not gonna talk.
All right, we tabled it. We're moving on to the next one. Here we go. Number 61, approve Hanson Professional Services to provide engineering services for the GLO CDBG mitigation program. This is another grant that we are chasing. Commissioner Morales is well aware of it. We stand to get when it's finished, we stand to have all of La Bahia paved, not coated with rock. Have 1.5 inches of asphalt on it, and the majority of Berkeley. We stand to have a new water tank installed in place of the one at Berkeley, and we're putting new downhole pumps in at both locations. So we're improving Hanson. We put it out for bids. They were the response that we got. They're handling the one we are doing now and we've received. Commissioner Morales has been involved in some of those phone calls. So I'd like to get a motion to approve them if we could. We advertised for it and we sent out, and they were the ones that responded.
Yeah, just to add to the upgrade to the water lines as well in that grant.
That's right. We're gonna have additional fire plugs. There's gonna be a 6-inch line put down Alcalde, La Bahia, so that y'all will have adequate fire protection. It's gonna make the whole loop. So it's just a great deal for the county. It's another one of those things where people are bringing you money. We like it. So if I can get a motion to approve them, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion action on political signs on county property. Ms. Flores.
Yes, sir, and under the report, basically, as y'all are aware, maybe some of y'all are not aware of, we're gonna have our next, early voting at the Goliad Memorial Auditorium for 3 weeks. And the land around that building is county and city owned. I called the city, they don't have any additional, ordinances or rules against political signs beyond the 100-foot marker. Neither does the county. I just wanted y'all to be aware, because I've had some questions from candidates and from the Republican chair about candidates putting the signs up there. I don't think we have any kind of we can't ban people from doing that, even though it is county property. I don't know, Rob, did you find anything out on that?
Didn't find anything other than
The 100-foot, from the 100-foot from the front door. So I don't know if maybe by the next meeting, y'all want to have some kind of resolution that there will be no campaign signs within the county and city-owned property, or y'all just want to leave it at the 100-foot, or maybe do a designated area where maybe by the highway. I just wanted y'all to be
You
aware.
can't put it out on the highway, the state will be chasing you.
We're just like right before it, so this is something to think about. We still have some time to put it on the agenda for y'all to think about and maybe come up with an idea on it.
Mr. Edwards, do you have an opinion?
Oh, I think it's, as long as we, I don't think it should be on city county property.
So that would mean there would be no signs out at the fairgrounds at all. That's what I'm hearing you say.
A city county property.
Mr. Morales?
I feel the same way. I mean, our county precinct barns are county property, and that's county property out there as well, so.
Rhodes?
I'm fine with whatever they're on there.
Okay. So I don't have an opinion one way or the other, but if y'all would like to preclude anyone from putting signs out there at the fairgrounds, this problem is bubbling up because it's unusual that we would have the early voting out at the auditorium.
Mm-hmm.
So the 100-foot mark is there. If you think we need more and you don't want any on the county property, then we need to draft an ordinance, and Mr. Baimonte will be the one to do that per your instruction.
Can we draft such a thing, Counselor?
Sure, you guys got to take action on it right now.
Yeah.
It's an action issue, right?
Right.
So you can take action to prohibit any political signs
On county property.
on county property.
Yeah, precinct barns, whatever, any county property.
Can I get a motion to that effect?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor of not allowing any political signs on county property?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Can I add something to the committee, not the city, not the county, the committee decided to not charge any rent because this is a city, county, and school election. And, they will split the electric bill and the utility bill between the three, entities. Right? Is that right, Mary Ellen?
All right, number 63, discussion action on vendors agreement, community services building grant for COVID-19. Ms. Flores?
Okay, that is, basically with the COVID, this agreement is some of the people might be needing, birth records. And we cannot issue a birth record without money. So this, agency would, with this agreement, we would be able to issue a birth certificate, and then we would just bill them, and then they would pay us. And then the payment would take care of everything. So it's just, in order for us to get the money, because the people needing the birth record cannot get it due to, not having a job or, with all the COVID problems of not having any, funding. So it's a good thing for the residents of Joliet.
And anyone else that was born here
Right.
to get a birth certificate or a marriage license or whatever the case may be.
Can I get a motion on that, please?
And the vendor, who is it?
Community Action Hours,
Okay,
Victoria.
okay. I'll make that motion.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion action, ESA single point of contact form. Ms. Flores?
Okay, this is, something that we had brought earlier in the year. It was through, you might have remembered it through AT&T. It's, with all the fraud and cybersecurity issues, the Secretary of State has contracted with AT&T to do, some, like, phishing and, cyber attacks on our county website to make sure that we are aware of what can happen and make sure that we are secure in our voting, program with ES&S and the state. So we, my staff and Andy and Michelle's staff, we have had some training. We started training in the past, probably 2 months ago, and we have another training. And it's just make sure that all of our, internet is secure for hackers and stuff. It's just an added security for voting. The point of contact is actually Andy on this, but.
You have anything?
No, they did a security assessment on the network. We haven't got the results back yet. Probably another 5 weeks or so.
And I do believe we cannot get any more CARES, grant money unless we take this security assessment. So we have to have it.
To be eligible for the funds.
I told you that it's with the government or the salesman from AT&T?
I think it was probably the salesman.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay. What would y'all like to do on that? Look, AT&T's been emailing me for 6 months, 8 months wanting to do this. And they managed to get their foot in the door, under the tent, however you want to say it, through lobbying efforts at the state capitol. And there was enough of them that got lobbied to say, yeah, we'll just make AT&T this. What's the charge for this, ma'am?
I believe it's free. We don't get charged for it. I think it's, something that Secretary of State, the contractors have been. I haven't seen any kind of a bill. Have you, Andy?
I have to admit, I'm a little bit lost here. I thought we already did the election security assessment. Is this something else?
Part of it, this is some email that I got, I don't know, I think you got it, and I got it, and then I got sick, and I'm just passing this through the court just for their blessing.
That's what I was remembering. I thought we passed something like this already several months ago.
Oh, we already done this,
And you did the assessment, didn't you, Andy?
last week or the week before.
Didn't you complete the assessment?
Yeah, I mean, we had that one, where we didn't have it, but then this is like another added thing that I got from you, I believe.
I would like to table this because it smells like fish.
I haven't seen anything since we've done the assessment, at least from my part of it. They put a network sniffer on there and they monitor traffic. I went through about a 3-hour conference call, answered a lot of their questions. I know the tax office and clerk's office were on a conference call of their own, probably answering questions about their protocol. My understanding, the last email I got was that they were compiling the results and they'd get back to us in 5 or 6 weeks. Not aware of anything further that's going on unless I've missed something.
Let's do this. Let's table it and come back with all the information, with all the questions answered that we've asked. And we'll get on it before. I'd like to table it if we could, if I can get it. That's all right?
Need some more information, seems like.
Your motion to table it, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Table. Discussion action on election services contract. Ms. Flores?
That is basically the contract with the city and the school for the election that was, February 3rd election was ordered by the governor that county election administrator, clerk, handle all that election. So.
We have an election in 30-something days. It seems so late to be hiring an elections administrator.
You're on the wrong one.
Okay. I thought they were linked together, ma'am.
No, sir.
Okay. What does the election services contract do?
It's for the city for,
So you're going to handle the city's
I'm gonna
election?
handle the city and school.
Okay.
It's ordered, it's just like a,
Anyone have any issues with that? We've been handling the city stuff.
No.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Discussion action to establish the office of a county elections administrator.
this is just for discussion and action. I mean, you don't have to take action on it, just for review. It can't be done now as far as it being ordered because it's too late in the game. You are correct on that. But it's something that needs to be done. It's what I'm liking, and have the blessing from the Democratic chair. I don't know, Myra, would you like to? I'm sorry, I could not understand. I said, would you like to say something in favor or against the EA for the county? Thank you. Judge. After seeing how things have gone on in the previous elections and some of the problems I think we've had with misunderstandings or instructions, whatever, I think it would be appropriate for this county to have an elections administrator, considering how your office has been under pressure, certainly due to the COVID-19. You have an employee there that is out for indefinite time because her husband had surgery because of illness. And I think it would serve the county to an extent, really, to have one person who is trained the way it should be, the way they should be. Now, I don't know if there's a guideline for that, if there's what says what am I trying to say? The job, what they're supposed to do, and the certain amount of training they're supposed to have, and where that training is going to come from. I think it would benefit the county, and possibly starting in January, because we'll have, in 2 years, we'll have the next election coming up for governor and so forth. Now, how much work the elections administrator has to do between that time there is elections, what would they be doing? I mean, as far as elections aren't going on. And are these going to be the elections you're talking about just for our county? Because I'm thinking what you're saying now is because the way it's happening right now is because of our COVID-19 and everything else. It all had to be bundled together. Is that correct? That's what we're saying as far as the governor said. So I would be in favor, is what I'm trying to say, of having an elections administrator trained properly, with the job criteria and its definitions and everything, what they're supposed to do. But what are they doing in the meantime? Is this going to be full-time, during the year, or is she just going to be active with the elections, when the elections are going on? Or I'm not sure how it exactly works even in other counties, I'm not sure. So, but yes, I would be in favor, because you do need the assistance in your office. You're pretty overwhelmed in your office, and I think it would be good for the county and for our elections. And also for the workers, our election judges, the clerks, they need specific certain training, because we have a lot of new people that come into the county. They want to work the elections, and they need proper training. And the training on the SOS site is not that good. But do we need more hands-on correct training for election workers, and poll workers, and poll watchers, and everything? If you have one person to do that, I think that would be a good idea. Thank you.
Yes, and on that note, I have hired somebody in my office who works part-time. And she stated to me, and of course, the hiring will have to go through the process of putting an application out there. And then, of course, we have a committee that's comprised of yourself, myself, the 2 chairs, and the voter registrar. We are a committee that we have to meet. We're the ones that hire, and we set the rules as before. Now, I've since found out there's other people that would be interested in the job. The lady that I had hired possibly to take the job as a candidate for employment would like to do it part-time. And there has been a fund set up for an EA in the budget for this coming year. And this particular lady, well, I guess I shouldn't even say all this because we're not at that point yet, but with the COVID, probably next year we'll probably be in the same situation. If we have to have other elections, they're probably going to dump it on the county clerk's office. This election has put a lot of strain on my office, and like Myra says, it's hard for us to wear all the hats, which is part of our job. So we're just trying to get everything done. But I think just a part-time EA, if we could get somebody to do that during election time. Yes, you're going to be busy. The other months you can clean up the voter, because it would involve taking the voter registration out of Michelle's office. they could clean up the voter list, and they could do the training throughout the year. Like that, when election comes, you're not scrambling to get all that done before election day. So, I mean, it's just something for y'all to think about. The budget's already, it's already budgeted, so we don't have to do it tonight. We can't do it tonight because there's no way we can appoint somebody and have them take over from here. But in the future, I'd like for y'all to sit back and think about it, and maybe we could get an election administrator if we're not saddled with having to do the elections for the city and the school next time around. If we had an EA, they can contract with the EA and they can take over the election for that department. So just something for y'all to think about. Thank you.
Mr. Howard?
This was the first time that I've heard about, helping the city and the ISD on elections. As paying all the voters, helpers, poll watchers that we do. Are these other two entities gonna take a third of the payroll to pay these people?
Everything is divided between the three of them.
Okay.
So,
They gotta run that from our office, and then we bill out ISD and the city?
We'll probably do it, I don't know if we'll do the secretary, they may, the city says they'll probably think about maybe put the money up front, but I'll see what they're gonna do first. I'll reduce it, I'll bill it as we come. And whenever you pay out, you can send out a bill to the two entities and divide it by 3, and we'll know, who's paid what.
What I'm saying is, are we paying 100% to these employees up front through our office?
We don't
Because if not, you're gonna be cutting paychecks from the ISD, the city, the federal income tax has to be filed, all of that stuff. So,
don't have to pay them that.
ma'am,
We don't have to pay them that.
their contract,
Their contract.
They're like, you know,
1099.
they'll get it. What I'm saying is not, they're gonna be sending 3 bills out, 3 paychecks out from each place.
Okay, we're kind of off the question at hand. Do we want to establish an elections administrator now, or do we want to do that later on? She's talking about part-time could work, but not sure. We don't even know what we'd be advertising for. I would definitely like to see it go out as an advertisement so everyone in the county would have a fair shot at it as opposed to friends and neighbors. I mean, let's advertise and see who comes to want to fill that position. Do it the proper way. It doesn't preclude us from establishing the office. We did it once before. This thing's been idling since the first of the year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The agenda item says to establish the office. I mean, do we still have it established, or did we just totally do away with that office?
We had to do away with it in order to terminate the other one.
Okay. So, I mean, we could establish the office. That's not hiring somebody.
Office,
That doesn't mean we're hiring somebody.
We budgeted money for,
it's budgeted,
right,
but we've agreed that the November election won't come into play. I don't even know what's on tap for the spring. There'll be an off-year election next year, I suppose, so. What's your pleasure?
I mean,
Anybody heard you?
can be a part-time, right? That's what y'all had said.
would y'all like to just maybe right now, just kind of,
They were, said it,
just pass it, but just keep that in your mind and maybe write down what y'all want. If y'all want a full-time, a part-time, definitely we're going to go ahead and, advertise for it.
We'd like to advertise for it, but Mary Ellen, with all due respect, none of us know whether it's a full-time or a part-time. You've been doing this for a long time, and you know how much work is there, and we have to depend on you to tell us. Because Alonzo's a nice guy, but he doesn't know whether it's a full-time position or not.
Well, my part comes like probably 4 months before and maybe a month afterwards. Now, the voter registrar's office, I don't deal with that. The sheriff's office does, but that is a year-round thing, because people become of age to register to vote here daily. So, I mean, that's why I'm throwing it out there that possibly a part-time job.
And they clean up that list, like you say, I know that's a mess sometimes.
On off months when they're not accepting an election. City and school generally have their elections in May. So, you know, whoever it is will be busy, say, April, May, June, and then if we have an election in November, you'll have another 3 or 4 months there. But the next election is not going to be after November. We won't have an election or countywide until November when we have the amendments. Now, the city and school, I don't know how that's going to work with all this mess, but it's just something to think about.
Who would hire, is that the commissioner's court hire this with y'all's endorsement? Who does the hiring?
City,
Okay,
county judge, myself, the 2 party chairs, and the voter registrar. We're the election commission, and we meet, and we interview, we hire, and we fire, I guess you could say. We set the rules, and we basically give them a set of rules that how we want or what we want. Basically, is just to follow the laws established for elections. They will have to attend conferences and train, and you know, basically, we want them to speak to the high school students, you know, to get them involved, because we do have students help us during elections, but we could set those rules and tell them how we want that. But just wanted y'all to kind of keep it in the back of your head, you know, that maybe in January we can try to hire somebody to start fresh with this.
good idea. Like Mara said, get somebody that has sat through these elections that knows what's really going on.
Seems like to me, Judge, we need to establish the office before you go advertise for the position.
Myra, you had something real quick?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at what Mary Ellen said, that the voter registrar book that we go through and that the tax office is about voting. There are people on there, they're not in the county anymore, they're deceased, phone numbers are bad, addresses are bad, and there's no one to take care of that. That is a full-time job in itself with the tax office, even to keep that straight. We need somebody that we need to have to set the guidelines, the criteria, the job description, and everything else. And I think it might be a good idea, too, to check with other counties and see how their election administrator works for them and exactly, you know, what they do, what is their job description to have.
I don't think any of us are opposed to having an elections administrator. It's just too late in the game to.
Again, we have to establish the office to.
If you want to make that motion, sir, we'll certainly entertain.
Before you go to advertise for the position, I would think.
But before we do that, though, we have to know, is this a full-time, part-time, sometime?
Well, that depends on the criteria you set.
We have to lean on Ms. Flores to give us those answers. So I don't know how we can establish the position without saying whether it's full-time or part-time, but.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. But you were saying she wants to start it in January for that position anyway. That only leaves us a couple of months.
And give the committee our blessing to do the, whatever it takes to fill that position, I guess.
So you want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to establish the office of election administrator.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public announcements. Public announcements. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.